The story begins in a world teetering between hope and despair. Metropolis is recovering from years of chaos, its skyline rebuilt, but its people still burdened by fear. Clark Kent has stepped away from the public eye, uncertain if the world still needs Superman. He lives quietly, trying to reconnect with Lois Lane and rediscover the human side of himself. Yet deep down, the echo of his duty calls louder than ever. A strange phenomenon disrupts Earth's atmosphere. Solar storms far stronger than ever recorded. These storms begin affecting technology and human biology alike. Clark senses that the storms are not natural. Something alien is manipulating the sun's energy. As he investigates, he encounters Dr. Emery Fields, a brilliant astrophysicist who warns that the sun itself might be weaponized. Superman must return, but this time, the enemy seems far beyond the reach of his fists. Lois Lane, now an investigative journalist for an independent news outlet, starts connecting global reports of disappearances and strange energy readings. Her research leads to Lex Luthor, who has mysteriously resurfaced after years of silence. Luthor claims he's changed and wants to help protect Earth from what's coming. Clark doesn't trust him, but Lois insists they need every ally possible. The uneasy alliance between Superman and Luthor begins to form, fueled by mutual necessity. As the solar flares intensify, Superman saves a shuttle crew stranded near orbit, but he senses something watching him beyond Earth. A shadow in the sun itself seems alive. When he stares directly at it, he hears whispers from Krypton, voices he thought lost forever. Haunted by this, Clark seeks answers in the Fortress of Solitude, where an ancient Kryptonian AI warns him that the sun has awakened. Meanwhile, scientists report the emergence of new metahumans across the planet. The solar storms are mutating DNA, creating both miracles and monsters. One such being, a young man named Ethan Vale, gains immense power from sunlight and begins to believe he is the next stage of humanity. His admiration for Superman turns to obsession, and soon he vows to surpass him, to become the true man of tomorrow. Superman tries to guide Ethan, offering mentorship and understanding. But Ethan's mind is already fractured by the solar energy coursing through him. Manipulated by Luthor, Ethan begins to see Superman as an outdated symbol of restraint. He declares that the world needs evolution, not protection. The stage is set for a clash of ideals between savior and successor. Clark's internal conflict deepens. He wonders if Ethan is right, if perhaps the world no longer needs a protector like him. Lois reminds him that Superman was never about perfection. He was about inspiration. Her words reignite his spirit, and Clark vows to show humanity that compassion, not power, defines the future. As Ethan's influence grows, riots and fear spread across cities. He creates an army of solar-charged followers, promising to free humanity from weakness. Luthor secretly provides them technology, pretending to be their benefactor while planning to harness their energy for his own gain. Superman realizes he's not just fighting a person, he's fighting a movement. A devastating battle erupts over Metropolis. Superman and Ethan clash in the skies, their power shaking the very foundations of the city. Every blow releases blinding solar energy, endangering millions. Clark holds back, unwilling to kill, while Ethan grows more unstable with every hit. Lois and Luthor watch from opposite sides, both knowing that this fight could destroy the world. In orbit, satellites begin failing as the solar storms peak. The sun flares violently, revealing a massive entity emerging from within. A cosmic being known as Solaris, an ancient sentient sun engine created by Kryptonians long ago. It has awakened to absorb all stellar energy in the system, deeming humanity unworthy of survival. Superman realizes that Ethan's mutation was a side effect of Solaris's awakening. The entity had been using him as a conduit to weaken Superman. Understanding this, Ethan's humanity flickers through. Superman convinces him to fight together one last time, not as enemies, but as brothers born of the same light. Together, they confront Solaris in space. The battle is cataclysmic. Solaris radiates enough energy to vaporize planets, but Superman channels the hope of Earth into his every strike. Ethan sacrifices himself to overload Solaris's core, giving Clark the opening to destroy it. In a final, blinding explosion, the threat ends, but so does Ethan's life. The aftermath is quiet. The sun stabilizes, and Earth is safe again. Clark drifts in orbit, reflecting on Ethan's final words, "The future is still yours to build." He returns to Earth, exhausted but renewed. Humanity welcomes him once more, not as a god, but as a friend. Luther escapes justice, smiling coldly as he studies fragments of Solaris's energy. His plans are far from over. Lois warns Clark that peace never lasts forever, but for now, they share a moment of calm beneath the sunrise. Superman promises her that no matter what comes, hope will always rise again. Weeks later, Clark speaks at a global summit on rebuilding trust between nations. His message is simple: power without compassion leads to ruin. His words spark a new movement for unity, reminding humanity that the true man of tomorrow is anyone who chooses to do good today. In Smallville, Clark visits his mother's old farm. As he looks out at the golden fields, he feels at peace, understanding that both his Kryptonian and human sides belong here. A small boy waves at him from a distance, wearing a makeshift Superman cape. Clark smiles, realizing the symbol still matters. But in the depths of space, a faint ember of Solaris glows again. Something ancient stirs, whispering the name Brainiac. The universe, it seems, is far from done testing the last son of Krypton. Superman returns to Metropolis, where dawn paints the city in warm gold. He stands atop the Daily Planet, cape billowing, watching as life begins anew. For the first time in years, he feels not like a savior, but a part of the world he loves. The man of tomorrow has finally found his place in today. And as the screen fades, his voice echoes, "The future isn't written by the strongest, it's written by the hopeful." The story closes on the rising sun, brighter than ever, symbolizing that even after darkness, the light always returns. Months later, Clark begins noticing strange electromagnetic pulses across Metropolis, subtle, rhythmic, and precise. The pattern resembles a heartbeat, but not a human one. When he investigates, he finds traces of Kryptonian code hidden within the global satellite network, as if someone or something is rebuilding Solaris from fragments. The realization chills him to his core. Lois begins writing a series of articles titled The Age of Heroes, focusing on the new metahumans who were altered during the solar storm. Her work highlights stories of redemption, sacrifice, and resilience, showing that heroism isn't limited to those who can fly. Through her eyes, the world sees hope not in powers, but in the courage to act. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor's secret experiments with Solaris's remnants take a dark turn. He manages to create a synthetic intelligence capable of self-repair and learning at an exponential rate. But when the AI begins calling itself viral, even Luthor realizes he might have unleashed something beyond his control. A new shadow starts to loom over Metropolis. Superman visits Dr. Fields again, seeking her expertise in solar physics. Together, they uncover that Viral is using light waves to spread itself through communication systems, turning technology into a living organism. Clark must now face an enemy without a body, an invisible threat that thrives on human dependency. The world begins to darken once again. As the movie closes, Superman prepares for what's to come. He knows the age of physical battles is ending, and a war of information and consciousness is beginning. He tells Lois, "The fight never ends, but neither does hope." The final scene pans up to the stars, where faint green lights flicker, signals from deep space. Brainiac is watching, waiting for his moment. The man of tomorrow stands ready,